I didn't come here for no reason, and now I want to touch on the topic of tea, which changed the history of the country forever. But for that, I need to dress warmly and go to the plantations. And while we are traveling, let me tell you a little about the history of tea in Sri Lanka. The tea for which Sri Lanka is so famous was brought here by the English in the 19th century. Before that, there were no tea bushes here at all. Before the English, there were the Dutch, and cinnamon was grown here on a large scale, then they switched to coffee. Only after the epidemic that swept through the coffee plantations in the second half of the 19th century did tea become the most popular crop in Sri Lanka.
Just so you understand, Sri Lanka and tea, Sri Lanka is actually the third largest tea exporter in the world after India and China. 10% of the world's tea comes from this island. That's a big deal for such a small island.
And now a short break for some beautiful views.
You're probably wondering why I came here. And who is this old man? With a grandpa vibe. But let me tell one thing. You know him. I think we do all. Not his face, but his taste. This is Sir Thomas Lipton, the man who created the world-famous Lipton tea. Now, let's talk a little more about this grandfather. Thomas Lipton, a millionaire from Scotland, started his career with a supermarket chain that had over 200 stores.
Yes, sir.
At that time, tea was an expensive luxury, and Thomas wanted to make it accessible to everyone. So, in 1890, during his trip to Australia, Thomas visited British Ceylon. There, in Sri Lanka, he established his own plantations so that people from all classes could enjoy tea. And as you can see, Thomas Lipton said it and Thomas Lipton did it.
He had his own fields, his own plantations, and so many of them that people started calling him the man behind the tea empire.
Let me add a couple more interesting facts about Thomas Lipton and we'll finish.
He was the first person to ever put tea in a bag. Pretty cool, right? And that yellow logo you see in stores, yeah, the one some of you probably have at home. It's been around since 1890s.
And to ensure you have no doubt that this is the person who changed an entire industry, in 1924, Time magazine featured a cover with Thomas Lipton. Chances are you're watching this video while sipping tea somewhere in your kitchen, or maybe sitting on the couch. And there's a good chance that the tea you're drinking is produced in Sri Lanka. But here's the question. Are you drinking real Ceylon tea or just some kind of leftovers? This question has been bothering me for a long time and I want to get to the bottom of it.
And now I want to tell you about the journey from the famous Ceylon tea from planting to your cup. In Sri Lanka, tea harvesting usually takes place all year round. The first stage is planting. Tea bushes are planted in neat rows along the hillsides. This helps with proper drainage and gives the plants good airflow. And on top of that, it's just incredibly beautiful to look at.
When the tea leaves reach the optimal size, they are picked by hand, thanks to these beautiful women. Not all leaves are picked, only the top young leaves and buds, as they are considered the highest quality. New leaves grow back every week. This stage requires skill and experience. Therefore, these women work here for years, if not their entire lives.
This is how it works here. Small team with a supervisor overseeing everything. And the workers, they are not Sinhalese. They are mostly Tamils. originally brought here from India. Because as I've learned, the singles don't usually work on tea plantations. You have to try watching all of this, but making tea yourself is even cooler.
Can I try to put...
It's for you. Sure, it's easy just to sit and drink tea while watching this video. But how about trying to pick some? Alright guys, I feel like a real tea picker. Let's get to work, guys.
Help me? Oh.
Great, guys.
We'll probably send this delightful tea blend somewhere far away to Kazakhstan. You'll likely drink it with milk there, perhaps while you are watching my video. And it's also very beautiful here, just unbelievably beautiful. Guys, if you ever come to Sri Lanka, be sure to take a walk through the tea plantations.
Now let's talk about the second part of tea production, processing. Once the leaves are picked, they're taken to the factories. And this is what a typical tea factory looks like in Sri Lanka. This one, for example, is over 100 years old.
This factory started operating in 1921.
There are 45 people working at the factory and 150 people on the plantations. You are probably wondering how much a woman who picks tea earns. The answer is 1,500 rupees for 20 kilograms of tea. That's about $5 a day.
And now, me and my new friend Jagat
Are heading into the tea factory to see how tea is made.
Sri Lanka grows 3 types of tea: black, green, and white. Black and green come from the same plant. It's the processing that differs. White tea comes from a different bush, and they pick buds instead of leaves. You won't see this part too often in Sri Lanka. Now, let's head into the factory. The first stage of production is drying the leaves under large industrial fans. This is called the withering stage.
1,200 kilos of fresh leaves turn into just 600 kilos after withering. That's 50% of the moisture gone.
Next, the leaves are crushed and sent to fermentation. Fermentation is basically oxidation, just like when you bite an apple and it turns brown after a few minutes. But here's the key point. This stage only applies to black tea. This is where black and green tea go their separate ways.
Green tea and white tea skip fermentation entirely.
Then there is another stage of intensive drying in a wood-fired machine. 21 minutes, 91 degrees, and the brown leaves turn into black tea.
This part right here, that's the stem.
Right, this stem,
That's basically waste.
it's used as fertilizer.
But sometimes factories do make tea from the stems.
They don't make tea from stems here.
Not in Sri Lanka.
No, it's only used as
But
fertilizer.
in other countries, they sometimes do.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's used sometimes.
In the final stage, there are lots of machines that separate the stems from the leaves and sort the leaves by size. That's how different grades of tea are made.
These are all different types of black tea. The bigger the leaf, the lighter the tea. These 3 are small leaf teas. This one has a medium strength, like English breakfast. This one's a strong small leaf tea. And the finest one? That's the strongest of all, almost like coffee. Yes, very strong.
At the final stage, the tea is packed into large bags and sent to an auction where it is purchased by large companies. And only 20% remains at the factory and is sold to anyone interested.
Alright guys, it's time for a mega tasting. Every kind of tea you can imagine here in Sri Lanka. I have a feeling I'm about to drink enough tea to last me for months. I don't even drink tea that often. But not drinking tea in Sri Lanka? That would be a crime. Jagath and I have wrapped up our factory tour, and now, welcome to our very own tea party, Jagath style.
We have 2 types of tea, silver tea and gold tea. These are the most expensive and the healthiest teas in Sri Lanka.
The most expensive and the healthiest tea is white tea.
People love strong small leaf tea. We always drink it with milk and sugar in the morning and evening.
Morning and evening?
Yeah.
With milk?
Yeah.
You know, in Kazakhstan, people also drink tea with milk.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I don't know that. This kind of tea doesn't have many health benefits. White tea is much better.
White is better. Black tea is actually the least healthy.
Not very healthy.
When I tried this, I realized I prefer lighter teas, closer to green or white teas. So here's the takeaway. The stronger the tea, the darker it is. Smaller leaves, stronger flavor. But the lighter, they're milder,
Yeah.
not as strong, and better for your health.
Yeah.
That kind of tea just isn't for me.
The last one we can try is...
Strongest one. This one's super dark. Almost looks like coffee.
Yeah.
Honestly, not my
Yeah.
thing. My investigation into where the best tea is made and whether it even reaches our countries has come to an end, and I didn't just interview a factory worker. So, is it true you've got friends who own tea factories?
Yes.
And you really know what's going on behind the scenes?
Yes.
They mix high-quality Ceylon tea with lower-quality leaves just to make more profit.
So how can you tell in a store if it's good tea or not? Or is there no quality tea in supermarkets at all?
It's always better to buy tea directly from the factory.
You don't add chemicals,
No, only natural tea here?
but the companies do?
Yeah, the companies buy tea at the auction and then they add chemicals afterward.
And never buy flavored tea. They just spray it with artificial flavoring.
Thanks for the
Yeah,
great
all right.
explanation. Now everything's clear to us.
Like his videos and subscribe to his channel.